around the world, people are looking at the United States of America. And what is being sent out from this White House is un-American and shameful.
So here it is, retweets of inflammatory videos first posted by the deputy leader of a British far-right anti-immigrant group. Jada Franson posted 3 unverified videos of what she says are Muslims engaging in violence and taking anti-Christian actions. But that Donald Trump would retweet them. Remember, he has more than 43 million followers to Franson's 71,000. Yet as people on both sides of the Atlantic accusing Trump of being reckless, promoting hatred and bigotry, and some British MPs even want Trump's visit next year cancelled. The CBC's Thomas Daigle spoke with Jada Franson today.
No, you think you can take over town and tell us that it's your country?
This is the woman given a global audience by the U.S. president. Jada Franson, known for berating Muslims.
This is the symbol of oppression.
And staging far-right nationalist marches with her fringe group, Britain First.
The people who run it now are relatively extreme, regularly arrested for things like inciting kind of hatred.
What's wrong with this?
Franson herself has already been convicted and is charged again with religiously aggravated harassment.
We don't plan to allow any of this to silence us.
Facing jail time, she still spits out wild statements like this.
Muslims are obliged to kill every single non-Muslim. The President of the United States has recognized that an individual is being imprisoned for criticizing Islam.
Do you really think he put that much thought into it, or do you think it might be a case of he saw this video, he liked it, he retweeted it, looked at your feed, saw another couple more videos, retweeted them, and kind of moved on?
I would not suggest that the President of the United States retweeted 3 videos from my account without any knowledge of my plight. And I thank him for his public support.
Trump's retweets hit home for the family of Joe Cox, the British MP killed last year by a right-wing extremist who shouted Britain first as he attacked her.
And the fact that he didn't check first or didn't even think about the content of those tweets before doing it, I think suggests his judgment is hugely lacking.
A spokesperson for Prime Minister Theresa May acknowledged it was wrong for the president to have shared the videos. With just 3 retweets, he's emboldened a self-styled political party considered more widely as a hate group. Thomas Daigle, CBC News, London.
Now, this evening, Trump tweeted yet again on this, directly back at the British Prime Minister, in fact, saying, "Don't focus on me. Focus on the destructive radical Islamic terrorism that is taking place within the United Kingdom. We're doing just fine." Trump actually tweeted that twice, the first time he tagged the wrong Theresa May. But listen to what the former National Intelligence Director, James Clapper, had to say about Trump's retweets. He seems to have no idea what's going through Trump's mind right now.
It's bizarre and disturbing, and particularly when I think of him doing that in the context of North Korea, where moderation and temperance and thought, I think, is critical.
Temperance and Trump, 2 words you don't often hear together in the same sentence. And when Clapper mentions North Korea, that was just another of many things Trump seemed to have on his mind this morning. Just take a look at his feed. Here's a retweet of his press secretary. She was happy that CNN is planning to boycott the White House Christmas party. That was at 6:49 a.m. Then at 7:03, he was on to the stock market, bragging about the success of his own policies. And at 7:16, he commented on Matt Lauer being fired, saying top executives at NBC and Comcast should be fired for putting out so much fake news. And he also pointed vaguely and suggestively at the past of NBC News boss Andy Lack. Now let's bring in Keith Bogue out of Washington. And Keith, so we saw this kind of stream of consciousness from the U.S. president on Twitter. What did you make of that?
Well, I think it's hard to deny that the big picture about this is that there are really serious things happening in the world, and yet the president doesn't seem to be able to focus on them. We had, for instance, the test of an ICBM missile by North Korea overnight. in the last 48 hours, rather, and he's tweeting about those videos that you mentioned earlier. But I'll tell you, in this town, there's another story that's also causing a lot of concern that isn't perhaps getting as much attention in Canada, and that's a New York Times report that for most of the past year, Donald Trump has been telling people that the Access Hollywood tape, you know, the one that came out during the election last year, where he appeared to be bragging about sexual assaults, he's been saying that's not really him on the tape. Even though the audio is clearly him, the video is clearly him, there were witnesses to it, he admitted himself that it was him last year. On top of all that, he is still obsessed with whether Barack Obama was born in the United States and was eligible to be president. He's reviving the birtherism hoax all over again. So for people who are concerned about the international context of what's going on in the world, the dangers, that the apparent imminent threats, the sense that the president doesn't have a grip on reality, that's a worrisome thing.
And then who knows what we'll be talking about tomorrow, right? So where does all this lead?
Well, you know, the Congress is supposed to be an equal branch, a co-equal branch of the government. The Congress is supposed to keep a check on the president. But the Congress is controlled by Republicans. And right now, Republicans are laser focused on their tax cut proposal. They want to get it done quickly. They want the president to be able to sign it in the new year. That's their priority.
Keith Bogue, thanks very much.
Thanks, Andrew.